Okay. The basics are, this is the site right adjacent to the existing fire station. Walt Hamilton indicated we're not going to get another drive on Saunders. We have to work with the drive that's there. Their recommendation was to widen the drive further so that traffic from the police and the traffic from the fire, they have a wider driveway to increase safety when vehicles coming and going. We then would split off, go down to the small visitor parking area. This 4,000 square foot footprint here, so visitors would come in. And then we have parking for the police, for the patrol cars, employees. Down the middle, this future garage building is shown across on the other side. That's located separately so that you can build that of lower cost materials. That doesn't have to have that higher level of structure. Doesn't have to have a lot of security. Frankly, probably could be a wood frame structure. A potential sally port here to bring in visitors and lock, so they don't run away with the car door. Bring them into the police station. Walt Hamilton worked on the grading. Talked about a rain garden to treat and store stormwater before it's released on the surface. It's also helpful, very helpful for our police department to have a second way out. So if something ever happened on Saunders Road or with the fire department blocking their drive, we're talking about putting a gravel access road back to the road between this site and the golf course. Oakers, thank you. So that's only would be used in the event of a real problem with the police department giving them a second way out. So try not to clear more than we have to, but we will have to clear a fair amount of what's in this zone just due to the fact that we're changing the grades. And as we lift the grades or drop the grades, the trees really have to be gone and replanted as you can. So it's a basic site concept. We weren't hired yet to really play around with the design inside the building or show you what it could look like. Conversations we've had with staff and some of you folks where as far as materials go, brick exterior, concrete block backup, high quality shingled roofs, quality windows like residential. Frankly, not to necessarily look like the fire station, but at least maybe that level of materials would be expected for its appearance to blend into the community. Inside it would be mostly drywall in areas where there are offices. When we get into more secure parts of the building, the walls would be a concrete block. We can pick what level we want for HVAC systems if they're going to be particularly energy efficient or more standard. So again, there's nothing, we're nothing extravagant here. We're just trying to build a respectable, simple building to support the police with materials and finishes that are expected to last quite a while, and with some good opportunities for more environmental things if the board was so inclined. So that's kind of the basics of a 4,000 square foot building or something close to it we believe, the police department believes would be in the range of what we need. And the costs in today's market, the way the market is, at least in the last few months, we think these dollars are an accurate reflection of what you'd end up spending if you did a project like this. Could the market go down further? Maybe a little. But frankly, most subcontractors that we're talking to really aren't marking things up right now. They're just trying to stay in business. So I don't know how much more down could go, but certainly could hold there for a while. If you waited a period of time, and it's frankly, how long these numbers would last at this point, I can't predict. Our best estimate would be based on what we see nationally when architectural firms are billing. Their billings are not going up yet. They're holding just below. A 50 is considered a normal. Your billings aren't going up or down. Most national firms are billing around a factor of 47, 48. So they're just bumping down a little. And that's a clue to the market that says if the architect and engineers aren't picking up yet, there isn't some big surge of work coming.
Questions from the board?
I have a couple. Will you show the rain garden?
Yes.
We're on the cost description list. Is that, I was just going to ask, is it with biostorm retention area,
yes,
otherwise known as rain garden? Okay.
Put a number like that next to it, it has to have a bigger...
Oh, it's there! Okay.
Have to have a name to match the number.
And then up under site costs,
yes,
where it says seed and blanket, that means what exactly?
That means it's dirt and you put a roll out a blanket that's got seed and you grow grass. It's not sod.
And perhaps we don't want to grow grass. perhaps we want to think about.
Well, it doesn't have to be necessarily grass seed.
You can do whatever you want.
It could be other
I
things.
understand. I'm just throwing that out there now.
You can grow corn there, I'll be, it's fine with me.
And mine for the deer as well.
Well, there's an idea.
Yeah.
Did you do the Burr Ridge
Yes.
facility? Did you do Wheeling?
The fire station, yes, the remodel for police or village hall.
May I ask, are there any others in the area that you were not successful in bidding on?
No. They've all been coming in under the last 12 months. Everybody's been going dancing in the street and the bids come in because it's been very, very
That
good
wasn't
results.
his question.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm wondering if there were any other buildings, police buildings built that you were not part of.
You lost the.
Oh, that we didn't design.
Right.
Oh, most of them, yeah. They only do a slice.
Can you tell me a couple?
That we didn't do?
Did not
They did
do.
not
You
do.
bid on, but didn't win.
Oh,
That was another question.
okay. Well, some big ones around, Glenview, Hoffman Estates, the Wheeling Police Remodeled. I hired a big box architect, really cheeky and desperate.
Was Glenview a new facility?
Yes, it's brand new. It's a very large one, 60, 80,000 square feet. So, if I gave you enough time, I could think of all the things my competitors have done, but please let me stop.
I have another question. The fencing and gates you list, what kind of fencing are you contemplating?
Well, the dollars that are budgeted there are probably a vinyl coated chain link.
Have you considered whether, how long a building of this size will meet our needs?
I think it would need it for a good number of years. It really, I think, would require a change in the village's approach to its policing, some larger zone, new department. They really want to get into investigations for some reason. But for the basic supervision and patrol functions that your department has, and there are enough lockers built into the design to allow some more hiring of patrol personnel to be added to it. But it's not really thinking that you're.
We're not looking to expand the police department in the next 50 years. The village isn't growing, right?
So,
We may, if the 37 acres ever gets developed, we may put on another man, but that's about it.
Yeah, yeah, based on some studies that we've done.
Bruce,
before,
you-
Excuse me,
Officer.
officer.
Bruce, you're satisfied that this, the scope of this would meet? what you-
Yes, many police
We made a
stations
number of,
are built for growth. I just don't see any growth, maybe a tiny bit of growth with the department based on what happens in 37 acres, but we're not talking more than a man or two depending what goes there.
Unless we do a hostile takeover, man.
and they've got a nice building there,
Nicely said, so.
yeah.
so we don't have to worry about that. We've spent a lot of time tweaking this in staff, and we've had, 3-4 meetings,
At least, yes.
and we've cut them down a lot. I mean,
Yes, we started off larger and more expensive than,
I recall that.
yes. And
How
then
many
we-
bathrooms did you start with and how many left it down to?
Well, we're down to this. I mean, it's,
Yeah, we're down to it.
He and I have been kidding about that, not kidding. When he initially proposed his police, as I called it, the Taj Mahal,
yeah, the wishbook,
he
yeah.
had seven or eight bathrooms.
That was just the men.
And I'm wondering, how many are you down to, you know?
There's one toilet up front for visitors.
That's one.
In fact, every facility over 5,000 square feet has to have two, but since you're under 5, you can have one. There's one bathroom back in the detention lockup for when prisoners are brought in. That's separate, so they're not loose in the building. And then there's, I think, one male and one female rooms that have a shower and a laboratory in them for everybody else, and for all the departments. So
So you have 4?
I think we're at 4.
We are, and let the record show there are no bathrooms in the Taj
Couldn't prove it by me, but